Good morning everyone and welcome to Edgbaston for this fifth and final day of the second test match between Australia and New Zealand. Well, the first test match at Lord's was a dominant Australian victory, but this game is delicately poised, with New Zealand currently 90 runs ahead with 7 second innings wickets in hand. The question on everyone's mind is whether New Zealand have enough time to declare and bowl Australia out. Don't forget, if New Zealand lose today, they are out of the tournament. We join the action now as Dennis Lillee bowls the first ball of the day to Ross Taylor. And Taylor lets that one through. Well, Taylor and the lower order will hold the key. Well, that's a lovely shot from Williamson. That's his first boundary of the day. And Ross Taylor has his first boundary too. Beautiful shot. That's worked fine from Williamson. Will that be 4? Yes, it will. Taylor's given himself some room and punched that one away for 4. That was a beautiful shot, right in the gap. It's been a nice start from New Zealand. Williamson sweeps, that will go down. Oh, that's 4, and that will be his 50. Yes, you feel that New Zealand are looking to push on. Oh, that's a rare full toss from Warne, and Taylor's swept that one away hard and square for 4. Well, that's in the gap as well, and that's going to run all the way for 4. Oh yes, Taylor and Williamson both looking good this morning. Oh, beautiful footwork, gave himself some room and punched that away through the offside. And now this one through the onside. Ross Taylor is playing so well. Oh, that's a nice wrong-un from Warne. I don't know if Taylor picked it. Oh, that's beaten mid-on, and that will be 4 more. Gorgeous shot. An old-fashioned late cut. Warne continues. Oh, and that's out. That's caught and bowled. That's an easy catch for Warne. Warne has been troubling Williamson from around the wicket, tying him up. Williamson looking to cut and can only present Warne with a simple catch. So Williamson is out. Caught and bowled Warne for 67, and New Zealand are 192 for 4. 94 in the first innings, and Ross Taylor now has 50 in the second. And that is beautifully bowled by Gillespie. Cut away just past point, and that will be 4. Short ball from Lillee. Ross Taylor gives himself some room and slaps that one over cover for 6. How is Lillee going to respond? He pitches that one up and Taylor drives it down the ground. That will be 4 more. And that is lunch on day 5. New Zealand scoring 98 runs in that session for the loss of 1 wicket. They've moved on to 218 for 4, currently leading by 188. Let's look at the scorecard now. Williamson out for 67. Ross Taylor currently at the crease on 69 not out. And Brendan McCullum is also there on 6 not out. 1 wicket for Dennis Lillee, 1 for Jason Gillespie, and 2 for Shane Warne. I guess the question on everyone's lips is how long will New Zealand bat until they declare? That's a big shout from Shane Warne. What does the umpire say? No, not out. That ball probably pitching outside leg stump. Off the edge and down to the boundary for 4. Dennis Lillee with the new ball. McCullum doesn't really get that, but it's going to go to the boundary. That's his first 4. Lillee starts a new over. Oh, and that's going to be out, caught and bowled as well. Yes, McCullum just bobs it back to Lillee. He'll be very disappointed in that shot. He couldn't get going today, McCullum, and he is now out. Caught and bowled Lillee for 14, and New Zealand are 236 for 5. Can Chris Cairns give New Zealand the spark they need? No, he can't. He's out for a duck. Alan Border's taken the catch. Another wicket for Dennis Lillee. He's bowled so well after lunch, and Cairns is out. Caught Border, bowled Lillee for a duck, and New Zealand are now 236 for 6. Last ball of the over from Lillee. And Hadley has whipped that one away, and that's going all the way for 4. Well, what an exciting over that was. Oh, that's a rare full toss from McGrath, and Hadley has punched it down the ground for 4. A bit of width from Lillee, and Hadley has slapped that through cover for 4. Off the edge, but there's no one in the slips, and that will be 4 more. Well, that's a better shot down the ground, beats mid on, and that raced away for 4. Ross Taylor is now on 95. He's hit that one well. Has that gone all the way? I think it might have. What does the umpire say? Yes, that's 6. That's 100 for Ross Taylor. Beautifully played. Oh, and now he's hammered that one through mid-off. Look at the power in this shot. 4 all the way. How can Warren respond? Well, Taylor's really taking it to Warren. That's over mid-on, and that's another boundary 4. Perhaps the declaration is not far away. Oh, that's well bowled by Warren. Lots of spin. 14 runs off the over already. Oh, and that must be out. Warren appeals to the umpire. The umpire says, yes, that is plumb. Yes, a consolation wicket for Warren there. Ross Taylor looking to score, playing across the line. And he is out. LBW to Warren for 109. And New Zealand are 285 for 7. And New Zealand have declared at 285 for 7. Let's have a look at the scorecard now. The standout innings from Ross Taylor, 109, but also valuable contributions by Glenn Turner, Stephen Fleming and Kane Williamson. For the Australian bowlers, 3 wickets for Dennis Lillee, none for McGrath, 1 for Gillespie and 3 wickets for Shane Warne. Well, with 256 runs to win in 38 overs, Australia would need to score at 6.7 runs an over to win this match, which might be a little bit difficult. We feel New Zealand have left their declaration a little bit late, but don't forget, if they lose today, they are out of the tournament, so perhaps they had that in mind. With Hayden and Warner opening the batting, it will be interesting to see if Australia do go for this target. Richard Hadley is on a hat-trick from the first innings, and Matthew Hayden safely negotiates that one away for a single. Hadley to Warner, edged, and that's been dropped by Taylor at second slip. Oh no, New Zealand can't afford to drop catches if they want to bowl Australia out in 38 overs. It was a difficult catch, but Taylor put it down. Oh, Hayden has absolutely pumped that down the ground. Super shot. And that's a nice little glide past Williamson at third slip for 4. Worked away off his hip, and that will be Warner's first boundary. Hadley bowls again. Oh, and that's hit Hayden very hard in the arm area. Oh, he doesn't look in a good way. Well, there are some concerns from the New Zealand players. And Matthew Hayden is out, retired hurt. Oh, that's bad news for Australia. He's retired hurt for 11. Ricky Ponting will come in next. Oh, that was another good bouncer from Hadley, but Ponting was all over it. He's very strong on the pull shot. Clipped away, and that will be 4 more. And that will be tea on day 5. Australia, after 8 overs, are 35 without loss. Let's have a look at the scorecard. Of course, I say without loss, but Matthew Hayden is retired hurt, and we've just heard from the Australian dressing room that he does have a fracture and is expected to be out for 2 weeks. So that means Matthew Hayden will miss the 3rd Test match. But David Warner and Ricky Ponting are at the crease. Australia would need to score at over 7 runs and over to win this match. You don't feel that that would be very likely. Well, New Zealand need 9 wickets in this session, and you feel Hadley's their best chance, but that one's short, and Ponting has pulled that one away once again. Ponting's mistimed that one, but there's no one there to catch it, and that will be 4 more. Shane Bond steaming in. Oh, that's hit Ponting on the pad. Big shout from Shane Bond. What does the umpire say? Yes, that's out. Ponting falling over his front pad again. Shane Bond has got him out. And Ricky Ponting is out. LBW to Bond for 18, and Australia losing their first wicket, a 46 for 1. Short from Hadley. David Warner's got that one away. There's no one down there, and that will be 4. Well, that's a nice shot from Warner, using the angle from around the wicket, getting Hadley through mid-wicket, and another 4. Oh, a beautiful outswinger from Shane Bond. New Zealand appeal, probably more in desperation than anything. Steve Smith trapped on the back foot. Is that out? The umpire says yes. Beautifully bowled by Vettori. The arm ball went straight on with the arm. Steve Smith was right in front of the stumps, and he is out. LBW to Vettori for 7, and Australia are 76 for 2. Big shout from Chris Cairns and New Zealand, but no, that ball must have pitched outside leg stump, and so it cannot be out. Well, that's the way to deal with the close fielders. Pull out the Steve Waugh slog sweep for 6. Oh, did that flick the bat? The umpire says no, must have flicked the pad. Oh, he's played the shot again, this time all the way along the ground, and that will be 4. That's neatly clipped away, the leg glance, that's beaten fine leg, and that will be 4. Well, Well, that's a nice shot from Steve Waugh. The result's a foregone conclusion, so he's probably thinking it's time to express himself. Oh, and he loves them there on the pads, past mid-wicket, and that will be 4 more. And that's the end of the Test match. Yes, the second match between Australia and New Zealand has finished in a draw. Australia 120 for 2. Let's have a look at their scorecard. 49 not out for David Warner, 29 not out for Steve Waugh. They had no problem surviving the 38 overs, but it was too much of a task to score the 256 runs set for them by New Zealand. New Zealand may rue the fact that they didn't score faster in their first innings to give themselves enough time to bowl Australia out on the 5th day, but they have put in a much better performance than they did down at Lords, and so they will take that positive out of the match. Ross Taylor, for his 94 and 109, is the man of the match. Australia won down at Lords. This match has been a draw, and so after 2 games, Australia are still 1 up in this series. Despite the draw at the end, this has been a very close Test match, and New Zealand will feel that they are still in with a chance in this series. That's it from us. Do join us in Headingley for the 3rd Test match, and bye for now.